Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakakadash. I'm saying double honors to our apostles and elders. Here at Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So the last class session we had, we were talking about Israelites and their materialistic mindset. We were talking about really Anton Daniels. We were responding to him because apparently he's out there doubling down, which I believe that, he said it. He said that he said that the Israelites have no power over him or his life, so he doesn't feel threatened at all to say what he wants about us. And I believe he's starting to regret that, and that he's starting to realize that he made a mistake, because we made the point from the jump. This is not us you're coming against, but it's against the Lord. So yeah, you're gonna lose sleep. Like I said, is if you want to talk about the prophet's profession and look down on it for no reason and just talk all kind of mess about it because you don't understand it, then be prepared to lose your profession. You want to boast in riches and call the men of the Lord, the prophets, poor, make fun of them for the poor. Well, be prepared to be poor, because the Lord can bring you down. He can bring you down. And I read from the book of Sirach 31. I wanted to revisit it, just talking about gold and how too much of anything can be problematic, right? You have to have a balance, and the Lord knows our balance. I did a lesson about the book of Sirach, chapter, I believe it's chapter 3, where it says not to be concerned about things higher than thee, and be concerned about the things that you are aware of, or what the Lord has revealed unto you. Understanding that when Yahweh Shem Yahushua set us up and set us in this captivity, and just being man and being on the earth, right? He understands our lot as well. He understands that there are certain things that could destroy us if we have too much of it. So to balance, he restricts us from knowing things, from seeing certain things, so that we can get through this, so that we can actually live. And part of accepting that you're an Israelite and accepting the fact that you are the Lord's creation is to accept the fact that when he does things for you, or takes certain things from you, or denies you certain things, that is for your benefit. As Sirach 31 verse 5 says, he that loveth gold shall not be justified, and he that followeth corruption shall have enough thereof. Gold hath been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. Now, what is gold in this case? Money. Is it actually something that's harmful to you? Of course not. It's something that's beneficial, but it's the love of money, as the scripture says, the love of money that is the root of all evil. It's that desire, the fleshly desire, the covetousness, and what a man or a woman is willing to go through to obtain more and more and more of it. And they can lead them to their own destruction. It can corrupt them, as the phrase goes, power corrupts. It says, it is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, and every fool shall be taken therewith. Exactly. When it says it is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, it means their mental mindset is that that's their whole life, is money. They live for money. And if they ain't making money, then they ain't worth nothing. They ain't valuable. When in actuality, the man's supposed to make the money, not the money make the man. And anybody who's seasoned in his life will tell you that we got plenty of examples of out here of people who get destroyed behind coveting after more, right? If somebody was to make 10 grand in 1 month, next month he'll try to make 20 grand. Then the next month after that, he'll try to make 30 grand. And if he made 100K one year, he's trying to make 200K the next year. And then he's going to make 300K. And he's going to keep trying to make more and more and more, because he feels like he's not achieving anything unless he does it. And then next thing you know, years just go by and he haven't even actually got time to enjoy the fruits of what the Lord has blessed life for us to give. As they say, the best things in life are free. All you got to do is listen to the testimony of a lot of people who are sick or on their bed, on the deathbed, or just older. And they'll tell you that that a lot of times I'll just say, I just reflect and I just wish I just enjoyed the free things that the Most High gave me, instead of just so concerned about money and, just money, right? And expanding in more and in abundance and all that other stuff. And it could lead you to your own destruction, right? I look at a lot of these rappers and I see how they were starting off, young or old, the old versions. And then you look at them today and they're just completely corrupt and destroyed. And I just occasionally just think about how much better off they would have been had they not even had that money or access to that money, or been sold out and everything. That they'll be better off. See? But if you're not willing to let Yahweh Shem Yahshua lead you and guide your life and allow him to bring things into your life and people, as well as take things away for your benefit, and you want to go outside of the order and you want to say, no, I want to do my own thing. So then you forsake wisdom and you say, I'm just going to increase and do what I want to do. Then you just open the door to a path, to basically self-destruction. If you don't have any balance, you need discipline. It says, blessed is the rich that is found without blemish and have not gone after gold. So just because rich don't make you wicked. Just because you do pretty well for yourself doesn't make you wicked. Because Scripture says, blessed is he that's rich and have not, and without blemish, and you haven't gone after gold. You were just blessed. The Lord blessed you with the work of your hands, that things are working out. The Lord has his reasons, and he has everybody's in different lot. But you still got to have that balance, right? And I'll read it. Sirach 3:21, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. And the reason the Lord does that is because there are certain things that you may think you want to see, but really you don't need to see, because it can ruin you and destroy you. Like I always say, like the spiritual realm. And when I say that, I mean like the demons on the earth. Because there's demons on the earth, right? They're on people, right? Yahweh Shah could see them, right? And he rebuked them and he came out. You may think you want to see something like that. You don't want to see something like that, because you can lose sleep. The scriptures tell you that when the prophets had these visions, which a lot of them had them in their dreams, they were sick. I've had visions that I woke up shaking, and it just be on my mind. It may take me a minute to go back to sleep, and that's just a dream, right? Or a vision. If you could actually see certain things, you'll lose your freaking mind, man. You'll wish that you can't see, right? So the point is, there's certain things that the Lord don't want you to be concerned about for your benefits, for you. He knows that in this flesh, there's only so much that you can take. There's only so much that a human can take, right? So the thing, you have to believe that when he denies you certain things, it's for our own benefit. He doesn't want us to be concerned about things that are too hard for us to consider, because it won't benefit us. It'll just weigh on your mind. It'll weigh your heart down, because you're just flesh. Right? So even when it comes to, let's say, in trying to increase gain in this life, there's times where he don't want you to be too concerned about having too much, or maybe he doesn't want you to have too much, right? Maybe he doesn't want you to have everything that comes across your path that you might think is good. He knows what's better. You got to know that he understands what's better. And if you want the Lord to guide you, right, in your life and teach you, you have to be willing to accept when he takes certain things from you, or he denies you certain things, or when he gives you certain things or take you down a certain path that you may not quite understand, because you don't see it, but he does. Like I said, it said gold have been the ruin of many. Look at these, Israelite groups that just so infatuated with just making money. Look at how they're willing to trim their ways to seek love and take away from the doctrine. If at all, it could mean that they have some type of come up or some type of paycheck that they can get out of it. and they basically saying I don't need anybody to govern me. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and as the scripture says, supposing gain is godliness. Look at basically what is done to them. Look at what is leading them to. It's ultimately going to lead them to destruction. But then you have, us, so like Great Millstone and our affiliates and those who believe, right, who are willing to take the low and willing to accept that we ain't gonna have the luxurious things, the best things, right? We willing to follow the scriptures to the T and deny opportunities that may take us out of here, take us out of our little orbit, right, for gain. Many brothers have sacrificed a lot for the truth. All of us have had plenty of opportunities to like advance ourselves, travel and all those other things. But we consider the scriptures and we say, no, I don't think that's really conducive to my walk in this truth. Instead, I'll go this path. It may not be as luxurious, it may not be as lucrative, it may not be as good or whatever, but it'll get me there. It's good enough, to satisfy my little quench here, quench there, right? And you're willing to deny yourself the best of the best in this life. And look at where we're at. We're firm. We're firm in faith. If you have your whole constitution, that's a blessed. If you're blessed, right? We are increased in the spirit. We can see the end of this world. We're not blinded and as the Lord said, distracted with surfeiting and pleasures. Luke 21 verse 34 says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. So we're sober. We're not constantly indulging in parties and drunkenness, because the Lord said you got to be careful, because there is a time for everything. All right, there's a balance. Drinking isn't wicked. Little folly, little folly that you enjoy. None of that's wicked. You indulge in. None of that's wicked. But you got to know how to balance. You don't want to be too much in it, right? And your friends and your family, they notice. They're like, yeah, he come out. He come around sometimes, but it's only sometimes, right? Because they know you change. Because you're like, look, I can't do too much of that, right? So just like when it comes to like having riches and money and things of that nature. And let me find that. I believe, unless it's the same verse, but the scripture tell you that a poor estate is not always to be looked down upon. Yeah, it's the same. No. Let me see. Okay. Sirach 22 and 23 says, be faithful to thy neighbor in his poverty, that thou mayest rejoice in his prosperity. Abide steadfast unto him in the time of his trouble, that thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage. For a mean estate is not always to be contemned, nor the rich that is foolish to be had in admiration. So you learn the dualities of everything when you come in this truth. So just because you're in a mean state or a lower state isn't always to be contemned. That's actually a good thing at times. It's actually a good thing, because you learn and you get experience and you're comfortable, because hard times are just inevitable in this life. It's going to happen. And what gets you through it is your experience, it's your mindset, it's your thought process. Because you got some people where the moment their bank account hits, I don't know, a few $100s or whatever it is, they panic and they're losing patience. They don't know what to do, right? They're calling, they're begging, they don't know all that, versus stopping and looking at their situation, you know what I'm saying? And you have some, and they'll do whatever it takes to not be in that estate. So a lot of them, sell out, doing more things to make all this money, and think that actually defines them, right, as a man or a human being. Like Anton Daniels, that's why you can just say he's a fool. You can clearly see that individual, he defines himself by his money. And if you take the money away, he wouldn't have anything. Right? He's the type of guy that says if he lost all his money, he wouldn't have no purpose on this earth. You don't want to be like that, okay? So, as if I go to Proverbs, and and the scripture says not to, let me get that too. Scripture says not to, um, you know, envy sinners. Because it's easy to look at them and see like, man, they're successful, they're making things happen, they're living, and I'm poor, I ain't doing nothing, right? Sirach 9, envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave, right? So don't envy the glory of a sinner, and delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. And a lot of those things consist of parties, women, abundance, right? Just no discipline of the flesh, of the urges, just giving into every urge all times, right? But the scriptures give you balance. The scriptures talk about living in the moment, and the scriptures talk about investing in your future self, and deny yourself now so that you can in the future be able to enjoy or whatever. So there are times and balance of everything. But if you have the mindset of just, no, I'm just gonna live in the moment all day, every day, right? And that's just the mindset. Within according to the scriptures, that's foolish, right? Scriptures talk about balance. Scriptures talk about, like I said, living in the moment, and also talk about basically saving. King Solomon said that a wise man, basically know how to like save. You can say like save his money, where a foolish will spend it up, right? Blow it all away by being unwise, right? So it's about balance. And part of that balance is allowing Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to interject, and you can say interfere with your walk and to guide you in your walk. And a lot of that involves being put down low and being denied the most of the abundance, right? Just to keep you balanced. And you might get mad and say, man, I should just be able to make more and more and more. But you got to remember, it says gold have been the ruin of many. Do you want the Lord to get you? The Lord trying to get you to the kingdom. Do you want the Lord to get you to the kingdom? Then allow him, because he knows what's best for you, right? He knows what's best for you. Then allow him to teach you and to guide you and bless you in the areas you need blessed, right? And learn to be content in your situation and know how to move and flow, like water. Be adaptive to your situation. Proverbs 30, verse 7. 2 things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies, and give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. So what did the prophets Agur ask the Lord to do? He asked the Lord to guide him and to get involved in his life and to give him that which is convenient for him. Not too much, lest he go overboard, and not too little, lest he, become bitter, right? And trust me, a lot of us know our weaknesses. There are certain things that I know, I acknowledge, okay, I have a weakness for that. So I either have to watch that, or I make sure I can't get around that, or I gotta be careful because I know I have a weakness for that. So I want the Lord to, look out for me, right? So he asked the Lord to balance him. And it's easy to just say, I want the most, I want all this. But the scripture said, gold have been destroyed, the ruin of many. You may not know really how you act if you just came about all this kind of money and you just got everything. You don't know how it may handle you, but the Lord does, right? So I just meditating on that. Just like when the Lord said, don't concern yourself with things higher than you. Just like he told Ezra, he said, basically, he was like, you can't comprehend it. And the Lord hides things from us and takes things from us because he knows we can't take it. So even when it comes to like your situation or your riches, he'll deny you things for your benefit, right? You know what I'm saying? He'll take it from you for your benefit. Because you may not know, listen, be honest, too much money, man, a lot of money, man, can just, it'll ruin you, man. It really would. It'll ruin a lot of people, right? Oh, I definitely want to read that in the book of James. James chapter 3, verse 3. Behold, we put bits in horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body. Behold also the ships, which though they be so great, are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whatsoever the governor listeth. Right? Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a little matter of fire kindleth. Right? It's talking about the tongue. And the tongue is a fire, and a world full of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast and birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind. Right? And that's the point I want to make. So like horses, when they walk in the horses, they have to put blinders on the horses, so to keep the horse focused. Because while the horse is focusing on walking, having full access to see everything around them might distract them, might throw them off course, might stop him dead in his tracks. So to ensure that the horse does his job, right, you have to restrict the horse from his full vision, right? You have to. Otherwise, it's going to be headstrong. It's going to do what it wants. It's going to get distracted. It's going to stop what it's doing, run over here, right? So you have to blind its vision to keep it on the path, And yes, like I said, everything out there is tamed, right? And it's talking about the tongue and how the tongue is a wicked member. So, bottom line is, the Lord will do things for us for our benefit. Okay, because gold has been the ruling of many, and trust me, you don't need that kind of much abundance in this life. You really don't. Now, you can have it, and the Lord could bless you with it. That doesn't mean you're wicked. Okay, the Lord has certain lots for certain brothers or sisters, right? But if he knows that you don't need access to that, because it might destroy you or ruin you or take you down the wrong path, then he'll deny you those things. And you need to be okay with that. Be okay with the portion that the Lord has given you, and his blessings that he give you every now and then, and be okay with that, because the goal is to get us to the kingdom, and then we'll have perfect bodies, perfect minds, and nothing will be a snare unto us. See? So with that, shalom.